Okay, good morning, I think. It keeps telling me trying to reconnect, so I don't know what's going on, but good morning to everybody on the West Coast and good afternoon, East Coast. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a great week. And it feels kind of like that weird in-between weekend because next weekend's the holiday weekend, so this is sort of like the pre-weekend. I don't even know. I think a lot of people still have a 4-day week next week because 4th of July actually falls on a Saturday, but a lot of places are observing that on the 3rd. So I believe I will still be normal time and place next week, but I have a couple of things going on the 3rd, so we'll have to double check and I'll keep you updated. But I've got my whole team here today. Just thinking about different facets, different things going on. I've always got a million things happening. I've always busy people that are trying to hang out with me are familiar with my constant movement, constant doing things. So somebody actually asked me the other day if the fact that I'm up until 3 o'clock writing, if I'm doing things all the time on the go, if it's because I'm manic depressive. And my initial, of course, knee-jerk reaction is to be like, what a jerk. But the fact is, it's an honest question. And the answer is no. While I do suffer from anxiety and depression from my PTSD, and I know it seems like I'm freaking out right now just because I keep moving around. It's just uncomfortable in the chair for some reason this morning. But no, I am not manic depressive. I'm probably incredibly ADD, but I'm not manic depressive. But I kind of thought it might be fun to demonstrate the complete crazy of my life and my different personality facets with Team Poe here. So I do have a person, he's kind of hard to see, but I've got Poe back here. He's always with me, you know that. And he's, I guess, my grounded one. He's the one that is always with me. He's constantly by my side. I take him everywhere. I have little minor mini grown-up panic attacks when he's not there. Sort of constant companion. And that does come from my anxiety. That's from years ago, and this is silly to admit, but I'm going to anyway. When I was still struggling before, I'd been diagnosed, but I buried it. I didn't want to admit that I had PTSD, that I was dealing with all of the different traumas and everything. I tried to pretend everything was okay. And I was very much not. I used to be married. I've been married and divorced, and my ex-husband would make a simple request. I'd have the day off, he had to work. Could I run across the street, literally across the street, pick up a gallon of milk? And I know I've told this story before, but I would full-blown panic attack. I would freak out. I would end up curled up in the fetal position in my living room, hyperventilating, because what if I got the wrong brand? What if I got the wrong fat content? What if I got something? He literally couldn't have cared less. I know this. I knew it then, honestly, but I was convinced I would do it wrong. And then it would cause a huge problem. It was a much bigger problem, by the way, that I couldn't go. And I never talked to him about it. So I struggled, and I felt very alone and very isolated. Poe kind of represents the fact that I am not alone, I'm not isolated, even when I'm on my own during the day, if I'm out running errands, if I'm going to an event, whatever I'm doing, I'm not alone. And so he kind of represents that. And then Vu, my cute little duck here, Vu is his best friend. Well, I have a bunch of friends. I have a couple best friends, and they are always there, whether they're physically by my side or not. They are always supporting me. My whole team, I guess, is also represented by Team Poe. So just kind of a big grateful broadcast to them. Thank you guys for not only reading my books and promoting my work and joining me on all my crazy adventures, but honestly just for loving all the crazy that is me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys tolerating all the weird ideas I come up with and all of the madness that I put you through. I think Ube is probably one of my favorite representations here. I like to say that my diet looks like a 9-year-old when grocery shopping at a gas station. I'm not wrong. I've gotten much better, and it's partially by force. Being sick and going through the chemo, I did struggle a lot to eat all the sugar and the junk food that I do love. And I mean, that's certainly not a bad thing, honestly. I think it forced me to be a little healthier, so. But Ube represents, she's our nutritionist, and she represents the little kid that lives inside me, as well as the slightly more grown-up version that has taken over. Bria, my little bunny, my little trainer bunny, she's representing a lot right now, actually. My previous challenges of like riding my bike across Route 66, taking on cycling in general, all of that, and then Everyday Spartan, which I'm working on right now. My fitness has become a big part of my mental health. My when I get overwhelmed, when I get anxious, when I'm having even a slightly rough day, I think I used to turn to food, and now I turn to fitness. So she kind of represents the fact that I'm growing healthier, both physically and mentally or emotionally, as I'm hopefully progressing. I'm trying, and I think the challenges do help that. And then the cute little poets. I'm actually gonna move you guys for a second because I need to put the coffee down. My little poets represent a number of things. Again, they represent the fact that I'm a giant child, but also, and I know I put up the picture, but I'm going to hold these guys up again. You can see they each have their own little ribbons. This one right here is Kelsey. This one is the yellow one right here. She's Kaylee. And this one is Angeline. Now, my mom, who is my editor, you guys know that, she knew who Kelsey and Kaylee were. If you're familiar with my books, you might know. They're representatives of characters from some of my books. And the reason that she didn't know Angeline is because Angeline is from one of the Kayla Rose books coming later on. But that's a big part of, again, me. It's the multifacets. I represent several genres. I have numerous parts to my personality and to my life. So I wanted to make sure they were all represented. The easiest way to do that was to kind of give each one a part of my writing world. And yes, it does say spooky season on my shirt. I'm aware that it's June, but for me, spooky season is year round. So it's a fun, happy time. And then the last thing that I kind of wanted to share from different perspectives, and it kind of goes back to Ube a little bit, so I'm going to bring her back. But going back to things that kind of I deal with my trauma and my anxiety, one thing that I've always loved to do other than writing is baking. And so you guys know I do the book baking, and a big thank you to Patrick Madden. This is not mine. I don't get to keep it, but I will have my own copy at some point. This is the Necronom Nom Nom. If you're familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, it's a play on the, I never say it right, Necronomicon? I'm sure I said that wrong. Anyway, but this is a cookbook, and it's called The Recipes and Rites from the Lore of H.P. Lovecraft. So again, a huge thank you to Patrick Madden for letting me borrow this one. I have found 13, and I don't know why I'm deeply amused, but I found 13 recipes in here that I cannot wait to make. And I love the way that they're written. I was going to try to find one of the ones that I want to make, just because the way they're written is so cool. I'm in awe of when other authors come up with these like fun ways of doing things, because it just inspires. Like, there we go. The custard out of space serves 4 to itself, and it has things. No, that's not the one that has it. Some of these, it's just the way they're written. It's like a spell book. It's very cool. Like the ring that should not be, embrace the coven of 12. So obviously it serves a dozen. 1 15-ounce can of pear halves, reserve the ichor, reserve the juice. 4 packets of unflavored gelatin, 2 boxes of lime gelatin, a brick of cream cheese, a bunch of rice noodles, complete within the hand. Pliable bottle, tentacle mold, ring mold, and then it even, I mean, the pictures are incredibly cool. And then just, I can never pronounce his monsters' names. The arms of Nyadtha must be summoned in pairs. Break the seal on their prison and drain forth their juices. Place the halves aside for later use. I mean, how cool is that? So I'm very excited. I've got this one, and I've got several recipes from it. I also have The Nightmare Before Dinner coming. That is, if you guys are, again, familiar with The Nightmare Before Christmas, it's Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton. I really wish they still had the exhibit here in town that they used to have at the Neon Museum. I did want to say a quick thank you to those who reached out. I am aware of what a little kid I was being, and still am being to some extent, on the photo shoot that I had recently. It was a fun experience, and I do love the John Wick experience. I fully admit, I've only seen 2 of the movies. I intend to see the other 2, and then to see Ballerina later on, but the experience itself is very fun. I've done it multiple times. And they laughed at me. I don't like the Louis XIV. I'm sorry. I don't. The getting to do the toast with the manager, very, very cool. Just not, I'm not a cognac person, so I didn't like it, even though it is a very expensive bottle, and it's very cool, and I understand why they use the picture with Poe. I do understand that. It's just, when you have some trauma in your background where it felt like you weren't good enough, where you were being kind of tossed aside for something else, because you weren't perfect, being second place to a stuffed bird is a little difficult. It's a little challenging mentally, but it's okay. And the picture did come out really cute. So, for those that asked about it, that company owns 4 escape rooms and Odyssey Manor, which is another experience out at Area 15. Yes, I am doing those photo shoots as well, and yes, Poe will be with me. He gets to go. I'm pretty sure he's the reason I got invited. So, but yes, I fully admit I was having a little inferiority complex with my stuffed bird. So, to the people that reached out and talked to me about it, no, I was not having a full meltdown. I was just having kind of a rough moment. It was kind of a throwback issue that day. But I did share the pictures, and I am proud I got to be a part of it. A friend of mine did mention, she's like, well, I mean, at least you got invited to do it. Not everybody even gets to do that. So that is true. That was a good way to look at it. I know I'm not really talking about writing a whole lot today. I am actually in the middle of writing, and I've spent hours organizing and getting ready for some writing stuff recently. I have tons of projects coming up, tons, like crazy amounts of projects. And so I think I've spent more time organizing all of those. Wrath is coming out in August, and I still have at least 2 more on the docket for this year. Next year, getting ready for the big final releases of books 6 and 7 for Sin. I think I'm very scattered right now, because while my brain is fully capable of compartmentalizing and going, we're working on Yearbook, we're working on Wrath, we're working on the Reverse Harem trilogy, we're getting ready for a Caleb Rose's introduction. The outside part of me not always is organized. So I'm working kind of on behind the scenes stuff, I guess, right now. I do have some upcoming events. I think I'm kind of sad. I keep getting all these notifications. Last year I went on this like month-long signing mini tour, I guess, for lack of a better term. And this year I'm only going two events. And originally I had a lot planned. I was going to Seattle and Dallas and Hershey and Salem. God, I miss Salem. Again, back to spooky season. I had so many events all lined up. And then because of the chemo, because things sort of got changed, I'm not doing those anymore. And seeing all the reminders of all the stuff that, you know, the traveling that I did last year, and knowing that I don't get to this year, it's been a little rough. It's been sad. Just this morning I had a reminder from when we were in New Orleans last year. And it was a ball. It was an absolute blast to go to New Orleans. We turned Poe into a bird beignet, and it was a good time. I am going to Bray. I will be heading out there next month. That is, for those that don't know, the Beyond the Read author event in Columbus, Ohio. And I have plans for next year. I'll be at Authors and Dancers in October this year. So I have events. I just don't have all the events I was planning to do, and I miss it. I do. And speaking of Patrick and of traveling, he and his family are in Alaska on a cruise right now, and again, that is making me incredibly jealous, because that is where that necklace came from that I got last year on the Books of Booze cruise, and I still have not found the stone. I think it really is permanently gone now, so seeing his updates is just making me wish I could have, you know, hidden in his suitcase so that I could have gotten a new pendant. Something about it coming from Juneau and it being a special memory for me. But I do wish him and his family the best. I hope they're having a good time. And I promise, if you see this, that I am taking good care of the book. I just am obsessively going over the recipes. But for now, I think I have a ton of work to do, understandably, as I keep mentioning all the things going on. And a lot more coffee to drink to get it all done. So I am going to sign off and hope you guys have a great week and a great weekend right now. If things change, I'll let you know. Otherwise, I will see you back here for July 3rd. I can't believe it's already going to be July next week. But looking forward to updates and to seeing how you guys are doing. So if you've got anything special planned for the holiday, let me know. I would love to hear about it. And again, thank you to everybody on the newsletter list who's been reaching out. Apparently those baked donuts are making an impact, because people keep letting me know that theirs turned out and they've been trying different flavors and things like that. So that's really cool. I appreciate you letting me know how that's going. It was definitely one of the easier recipes, and who knows, maybe Lovecraft will be the inspiration this month. But we'll find out soon. I'll figure out what I'm doing. That'll be actually a special video as well, because it is being shot at a different location, not in my kitchen. So anyway, for now, I'm going to get back to the million writing projects and organizing projects I have going on. I hope you guys have a great time, and we will see you for the holiday next week. For now, have a good one, and until then, make sure you stay caffeinated.